credits and for my books. While they went to college for free, had all their books handed to them, and everything else. And boy, that shit pissed me off then. Why is it that they were able to go to a state college in California for free? And yet, I guarantee you, the U.S. government was still paying for it. In a series of tweets on Sunday, Trump said, "We cannot allow all of these people to invade our country," in which we can't. When somebody comes in, we must immediately, with no judges or court cases, bring them back to where they came from. Cannot accept all the people trying to break into our country. Strong borders and no crime. It was unclear if Trump was advocating an expansion of the provision that allows expedited removals of illegal immigrants at or near U.S. borders, a policy his administration has embraced since he took office, nor did Trump differentiate between illegal immigrants and people who entered the United States to seek asylum protection. Sorry, no difference. They both entered illegally. They need to be sent back until they can be basically filtered through and vetted to make sure that it's okay for them to come through our country. Yes, properly vetted. They do not belong in our country until they are properly vetted. Because you do not know where they came from. They may say, "Oh, I came from Guatemala, and they were trying to kill me in Guatemala." But come to find out, old boy came from Afghanistan, and he wants to kill all American people. He's a jihadist, and he has plans to kill millions of American people. And he spent all his life in Guatemala training for ISIS. And you went ahead and let him in because you thought, we have to let everybody in that's seeking asylum. Sorry, nope. Not going to work. That would be, if I was going to be on the ISIS side, I'd be smart enough knowing that America is the way it is. I would probably go in that direction and do that. The White House did not return a call seeking clarification. You know what? I wouldn't return your damn call either. You can kiss it. I'd tell you kiss my ass. I don't have to give you clarification of what the hell I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I do. The President of the United States has just forcefully proposed the end of political asylum and no due process for immigrants. Looks like Sherry Lynn Ifill, president of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, wrote on Twitter. Lee Gellerant, the deputy director of the ACLU's Immigrant Rights Project, told Reuters the administration cannot simply get rid of all process for immigrants. The due process clause absolutely applies. It's not a choice. I'm sorry, but breaking into our country illegally is a crime. So that is not a choice. The second that they take a step over our border and don't go through the right chain and go into our immigration places, if they went to the border and said, "I'm seeking asylum," and got caught that way, that would be fine. But they're not. They are crossing the border illegally and then getting caught. They're crossing the border with the hopes of not getting caught and walking freely into the U.S. and being able to do whatever the hell they want under the curtain of being able to hide in the United States. That is what they fucking want. That is what they are trying to do. So don't tell me that is what, okay, if they are caught crossing our border illegally, they need to be sent back. If they want asylum, then they need to go to the border crossing and seek asylum there. They can't do that. They can't follow those simple rules. Then guess what? They don't belong here. They need to be sent back immediately. And then they need to be told if they want to seek asylum, they can go to the border crossing and seek asylum there. And then we will deal with them from there. Crossing our border illegally should be met with immediate taken back to their homeland. Authorities can bypass due process protections with the expedited removals policy that allows quick deportations if an immigrant is apprehended within 100 miles of the border and has been in the country for less than 14 days. Those seeking asylum must be granted a hearing. Okay. So, you're telling me that every last person that's saying that, I want to seek asylum. So every last person, every last Mexican, I'm seeking asylum, so they all get granted a hearing, so they can all sit in our prison system? Nope, sorry. They know the system, they know how the system works, and they're going to continue to use the system to their advantage. And once that system gets overfilled, we're going to have to do something with them. Yeah, we're going to have to send their asses back to Mexico because there's no truth in them needing to seek asylum. Trump's tweets on Sunday came after a week of global outcry over images and video of crying children and their distraught parents separated at the U.S.-Mexico border. Critics in Trump's Republican Party, as well as his wife and daughter, urged him to abandon the policy. Oh, I'm so sad. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, Clinton put this policy into place. Clinton allowed these kids to be separated because he didn't want these kids to stay in the prison for more than 20 days. So he let them go free after 20 days to a parent or relative that was living in the United States. Until their parents were able to be vetted and gone through the system. Okay, newsflash. That's how it works. A Democrat did that. So stop crying like little bitches now because... oh no, it's under Trump and we're going to cry about this now because, wait a minute, Clinton did it. Now you look like fucking fools. You look like idiots. Yes, I'm an uncensored radio show and I will talk how I want to when I am passionate about something. I'm sorry. This one irks me. This one gets me upset because immigration is a horrible thing. When it comes to illegal immigrants, I believe in doing immigration the correct way, the right way, coming across this border and doing it all the right way, the way it was planned. Back in the days, people were let in with no problems. But back in those days, we didn't have a population issue where we do now. I said, we were trying to get people out of the killing and everything else under kings and queens. True seeking of asylum. People that were being forced under a religion, forced to believe a religion. If not, they were going to be killed. Those were reasons to seek asylum. The only reason Mexicans want to seek asylum is because they want a better life. Well, it's not our fault you were born in Mexico, and it's not our fault that you're not working hard enough to make a better life for yourself there. The president buckled to pressure Wednesday, issuing an executive order that ended the separations. But the government has yet to reunite more than 2,000 children with their parents. Well, guess what? It's not going to happen overnight. And why would you sit there and take all these children that just reunited with their family members and yank them out of their hands and put them with their parents back in the prison system, the federal prison system? Because that's basically where these people are sitting. Said, but Trump's frustration over the issue only grew. He had issued a drumbeat of criticism of the immigration system and Democrats in Congress while using increasingly harsh terms such as invasion and infestation to describe illegal immigration, because those are two words that describe what the Mexicans, the Guatemalans, the Hispanics from Southern America are doing to our country. Sorry, it is true, but this is what is happening. It is an infestation of them because their countries are poor, because their governments are corrupt and tyrannical, and they refuse to do anything about it. So, by them refusing to do anything about it, it is going to stay the same way. The U.S., we don't put up with a tyrannical government. Our laws and our rights allow us to uprise against a tyrannical government. The issue with immigration has needed to be fixed many years ago, especially with the Hispanics. But yet, nothing has ever been done by Republicans or Democrats. And the reason it was never done by Republicans is because Republicans looked at them as cheap labor, to help their businesses with cheap labor. So that's where they were good for in the Republican Party. Democrats used them because they were guaranteed votes for the Democratic Party, because they wanted to make it look like the Democratic Party was all for illegal immigration. So those two put together, I'm telling you, is what it boils down to. Now we have a president that says, screw you all, I'm going to take care of immigration, this infestation that's happened to our country. Trump's been down to Southern California and the bullshit that goes down, the infestation that has happened in Southern California. He knows for a fact of the things that I've talked about. So, by him knowing all of these things, this is where it all comes into play. He knows that something needs to happen, something needs to be taken care of. There are tons of Hispanics here that need to be sent back to their homeland. Not to let them sit here and just be allowed to have wonderful citizenship because they broke the law. You know how many immigrants are here that absolutely hate illegal immigrants because of how hard they had to work to become Americans, how hard they had to do and spend